Episode 4 is shaping up to be pretty exciting, and all the early leaks are just backing that up. We're going to dive into the leaks from Glitch and Gooseworx, talk about the release date and how legit it is, and break down some scenes and characters. Let's quickly run through all the leaks, then take a closer look at one character in particular. In an old teaser, there was a scene showing events from different episodes happening back to back, so we're 100% sure Episode 4 is going to be set at the Spudsy's fast food joint, run by that weird dude Orbsman. Pay attention to how Jax seems super reluctant to get involved in the new adventure, especially compared to how he's acted in the past.
I call shotgun. Oh God, is that the horn? Ugh, that sucks. Gangle, you drive.
Is that well?
Ah, come on, that wasn't even scary. What, you scared of the vacuum cleaner too?
So, it's becoming pretty obvious that Jax knows what's coming and really doesn't want it to happen. As for Orbsman, he's only officially shown up twice in the digital circus, and Goose mentioned him once on Tumblr, but honestly, there wasn't anything useful or interesting there. The first time we saw him was in a teaser, and the only thing we really know about him is what his voice might sound like. Plus, there was a shampoo bottle in the musical adventure with Orbsman's face on it, but that didn't give us any solid info either. Every episode of the digital circus can basically be summed up with just one word, and that's exactly what Gooseworx showed us. The pilot didn't get that treatment, but episode 2 was perfectly summed up by the word boy, which totally captures the whole vibe of the second episode.
As I was saying, I happen to know a way into the Kingdom Waltz, if you'd be willing to help us out in return.
Hey, when did you—
Shut up, Licorice Hair. I'm so unbelievably disappointed right now.
Well, maybe there will be blood, death, and violence in the next adventure.
Ha 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 ha, how wholesome. Oh, hey, maybe I didn't leave the gate unlocked for nothing after all.
What? I thought he was dead! You still did that? Okay, wait. You did what now?
Well, love to help you again sometime. Bye!
And of course, the word damn perfectly captures the mood of episode 3 too.
Oh, that's... no.
Now wait, how did he record this if he was in hell?
Let go of me!
I hope you're ready, because the next breath you take down there will be...
So, we can pretty much trust this leak, and the word for episode 4 is O. What exactly that means, I can't say for sure, but there's a chance something's going to happen that completely changes how we see the digital circus, the adventures, and the characters. Probably the very first and most important leak we've gotten is the list of characters that each episode is centered around, and episode 4 is all about one of the most mysterious characters, Gangle. At first, I thought this might be a pretty boring episode. Like, what can they really tell us about Gangle when there's someone like Jax, who you could write a whole book about? But after thinking about it, I realized we know almost nothing about Gangle, and she really doesn't get the attention she deserves in the digital circus. Why is her real face the tragedy mask? Why does she only seem happy when she's got the comedy mask on? And why is she so fragile? What makes her stay silent every time Jax messes with her? And why is Kinger her closest friend? As you can see, there are tons of questions, but almost no answers. Before diving into a character analysis for episode 4, I've got to remind you about the release date. December 13th, that's the date that popped up on Netflix as the release date for episode 4. It was quickly taken down though, so we can't see it anymore. But if it showed up at all, I'm sure Glitch and Gooseworx have a release schedule they're at least aiming for. This post showed up in mid-August 2024, which means that by then, 4 months ahead of the rumored release, the creators and crew had everything they needed to finish the animation. I'm almost 100% sure that by now, the animation is fully done, and all that's left is post-production. People who doubt this release date often point to the gaps between episodes. 6 months between the pilot and episode 2, and 5 months between episodes 2 and 3. That makes 2.5 months seem pretty unrealistic, but keep in mind the post I showed you and the fact that the amazing digital circus is now the only project Glitch, Gooseworx, and the team are working on. The previous priority project, Murder Drones, is officially wrapped up, or at least the first season is.
And yep, that's how I learned nightmares are real, and we probably should have stayed behind the old doors. And that maybe I don't actually hate it here.
Alright, now it's time to dive into the events, thoughts, and actions of one of the characters from the new episode, Gangle. This isn't really a surprise since she's the star and the main focus of episode 4. There was also a leak on the Japanese TADC account that'll come in handy later. Right from the start, we saw Gangle as this cheerful character, but just a few minutes in, the scene where Pomni appears totally wiped out all that positivity, and we found out that Gangle is actually a pretty depressed character. This has become a trend in the digital circus. Aside from the pilot, the same thing happened in episode 2.
So, our entire existence here is just LARPing.
Yeah, this place is great!
Look! It's the princess!
All right, Gangle. When we catch up to him, I'll jump over, crawl inside, and shoot him repeatedly until they're unrecognizable.
And of course in episode 3 as well.
Everybody into the fractal noise! It's adventuring time!
Which door should we choose?
Not sure. Let's try this out.
In the pilot episode, we also saw that Gangle genuinely cares about the other characters, and even during her moments of depression, she still comes across as a pretty rational character. Every adventure has been more of a challenge for Gangle than for Pomni, and the main culprit behind that is Jax. In the pilot episode, we realized that Gangle is Jax's primary target. The second episode is the culmination of their relationship.
Gotta say, this is a lot more anticlimactic than I was hoping it'd be.
What were you hoping for?
You know, like one big final battle, bloodshed, death, chaos.
Back here!
Do it, or I'll tell Ragatha about the figurine thing.
And the third episode only confirmed it. At this point, we're getting a clear picture. Gangle is an insecure girl who's doing her best to keep her sanity and survive, but there's one rabbit constantly trying to disrupt her peace. Episode 4 is going to be a turning point in this storyline. Based on that leak, Jax is going to be the victim this time, while Gangle takes the lead. But this video isn't about the adventure itself. We're going to get a lot of new info about Gangle's past and present, learn all the secrets behind her masks, and maybe even see what Jax would do in Gangle's shoes. Gangle is going to experience this new life, and for some reason, I think she's going to become a lot more confident. This could mean that their interesting relationship might come to an end, making Gangle's life easier, but a lot more boring for Jax.
Well, maybe there'll be blood, death, and violence in the next adventure.
Ha 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 ha, how wholesome.
Pay attention to this leak, and another one that's also related to the new episode. You'll notice that in neither of them do we see Gangle looking sad. It's possible that this could be the first episode to show us 25 minutes of a happy and cheerful Gangle. Even in the worst situation, Jax could easily flip her mood back to what we're used to. I also wanted to share my thoughts on episode 4 and why I'm convinced everyone's going to love it. Episode 3 focused on Kinger and Zubul, who aren't the most exciting characters either, but it still gave us tons of emotions thanks to Kinger.
I'm really sorry for that.
Why have you been acting so different lately?
I have, haven't I?
And of course, Zubul's story made us really think about what's wrong with the digital circus, and specifically with Kane.
I really couldn't give less of a crap about the adventures.
Then what is your problem, Zubul? I'm trying my best to remember, but both you and my brain won't tell me!
It's me.
I'm excited about episode 4, at the very least, because we'll finally uncover all of Gangle's secrets. Zubul will also be joining the new adventure for the first time, but what surprised me the most is Kinger's absence from it. And, as I've mentioned, the most interesting part will be the storyline between Jax and Gangle. I hope you enjoyed this overview of the episode 4 leaks and more. We're not saying goodbye just yet. Stay tuned, because you'll see a new video on this channel very soon.